Are you familiar with DISC? It's a personality profiling system. Are you familiar with it? If you're not, we're going to give you a quick crash course. But see, it's really important to, first of all, identify your communication style, because that's going to have a direct impact with how you interact with others. But then you got to recognize their communication style, because if you communicate in a style that's opposite to their preference, the odds are good your message is going to fall on deaf ears. It's wasted time, wasted effort. We got to make sure that's not happening. What we're going to help you to do then is align your content tone. That definitely lines up with the DISC profiling and format to behavioral preferences for better resonance. You got to grab their attention, plain and simple. That's the biggest thing. So I'm going to give you a real quick way to narrow down and try and figure out what kind of personality you are and then what personality you want to deal with. So let me make this easy. If you just had to pick one of these, I'm just going to number them. You don't have to type it out. Hopefully my handwriting sticks. All right. Hey, for handwriting, that's not bad. As you look at these, what is your preference? Do you want to win? Do you want to be liked? Do you want to feel safe? Or do you want to always be right? Which one resonates with you the most? What do you think? So let's talk about that here real quick. Because even if that's your tendency, there's a good chance there are other personality types still in play. So I'll just complete transparency. For me, my go-to personality when it comes to DISC is the C. It's this number 3. To be safe. Now, when it comes to family and work, yeah, I like that. But see, and this goes back to what I was saying, that everybody's got multiple types coming into play. My college roommate, he used to always laugh. He goes, man, the moment you buckled that last snap on your helmet, you were a different person. And I was here. Okay. So I think a lot of it's environmental, just depending on what the situation is, that's going to dictate what personality you're portraying. So just keep that in mind. And then the thing to keep in mind also is, in a lot of cases, opposites come into play, and that can create conflict. So if you want to win, okay, you're one of the very driven, just, hey, short, sweet, cut to the point, give me bullet points. I want answers. I want to know how to get this fixed. I don't want the details. If you're that way, somebody here or here, well, actually, any of these could drive you bonkers. Because the people that want to be liked, they want to talk about their weekend. You're like, no, I don't have time for the weekend. I need to get to A, B, C, and X, Y, Z. So let me add a little more color to these, if you will. Realistically, the D, the dominance, that's the folks that like to win. Now, for me, that ranked the lowest of all 4 of my personalities. But like I said, helmet goes on, last snap gets buckled, different game. So here's what I'm going to ask you to do. And as I explain these, start evaluating where you think you are, and then start looking at the people around you. Significant others, kids. I need my son to take this. I'm curious to see where he is. I think I got a good idea, and he's more the I type. Now, the I's are the influencers. Those are the folks that want to be liked. For me, that ranked pretty high, but the highest for me was the steady relator, the S's. And that's stability. At least for me in the past, man, change. Oh, heck no. Not a fan at all. I've gotten better with it for sure over the years. And then, of course, the C's, they're the compliance. Let me put a different perspective on these, just give you a little more detail. The D's, like Casey Cunningham, prime example here at Xenix. President, founder, CEO here at Xenix. She's a D without a doubt. Now, for me, being an S, we drive each other bonkers because we are at opposite ends of the chart. And so we have to work extra hard to make things work. And it's not a bad thing. We just know at this point how each other operate. And so I need to toughen up, and in some way she needs to soften up. We do that. All right. So D's, quite often direct, very brief, love bullet points, short emails. If you give them a book, they're going to go bonkers. They want to be in charge. They want results-oriented approaches. They identify opportunities and challenges, and they go after them. Let's get this fixed. Let's get this out of our way. What are our barriers? Gone. They like initiating change and take risks. And S, for me, yeah, it's a little tough sometimes. And they want high-level info. Don't want too much data. A C, on the other hand, they love spreadsheets and things like that. Casey Cunningham's husband is a C. It's funny watching them interact sometimes because he gets down in the weeds and she's like, no, Rob, just high level, let's go. It's funny to watch. So as you just consider, and I imagine some ideas that come to mind, Gordon Ramsay, a prime example of what a D is in the market. So as I'm sharing these things, I am hoping that you are starting to think about your agents, your builders, your referral sources. What personality types are these? Because they can help you adjust your communication styles. And it's going to get your messaging in front of them more often, more effectively. All right, so the I's, the influencer, this one rated pretty high for me. Life of the party, people focused for sure. They love relationships, absolutely. Small talk, tell me about your weekend, things like that. Appreciate feelings and opinions. So as we talk about storytelling, I's in a lot of cases excel when it comes to that. And storytelling helps people to relate. We're going to touch on that again here in a moment. Let's have fun and get things done. Definitely how an I is. A lot of collaboration. So for me, when we're building things out here at Zenix, man, I love collaboration. Let's go in a room, just big whiteboard, Post-it notes everywhere, dumping ideas, perfect. Involved in brainstorming new ideas and approaches. The hard part for an I, they don't want to get down into the details. Yes, this is where we want to be. Perfect picture, the visionary. But in a lot of cases, they don't know the steps to get there. That's for somebody else to figure out. They like to make quick decisions, a lot of emotion involved, and they want freedom from the details. That's for somebody else to figure out. So prime example, and I always goof, of course, Rachel, Jennifer Aniston. Prime example of an I without a doubt. S's. Well, slow decision making and slow to embrace change. I resemble that statement. For me, I got to sleep on it. Hold back opinion, but when an S shares their opinion, they believe it really matters at that point. It's important. I'm opening up. They want everyone to do their share. Everybody pull your own weight. It's a team effort for sure. Like to see how solutions will benefit them. Hey, we're going to change. I want to make sure the change is for the better, not just to make things more complicated. Love defined roles and responsibilities and, well, stability and security. Prime example of an S, and I'm looking for a better one, but Gandhi. All right. Now, the last one I want to talk about, C's. And again, I hope you're thinking about yourself and the people around you and the way you interact with them. And yes, this definitely carries over into our home lives as well. C's, man, love spreadsheets, love details. One of my best friends, guy I fish with every time I go back to Atlanta, he's a C, drives me nuts. We end up in a debate, and I think it's getting ugly, and he's just playing every angle. He's just evaluating everything out loud, and that's where I need to not take it personal, but examine an argument from all sides. Definitely play devil's advocate. They stay on task. They don't socialize. A lot of cases, they've got their door closed. I can tell you Monday mornings during college football season at Zenix, the least productive time, always, because Monday morning, there was a handful of folks that would rotate from office to office discussing the games from the weekend. But you could tell the C's because they had their door closed. They didn't want those conversations. They had other things to get taken care of. Disagree with the facts, not the person. So that has a lot to do with that devil's advocate thing. Focus on quality without a doubt. Avoid new solutions. Stick to proven ideas. And allow time for thinking and analyzing. Now, when you look at this, might be a screenshot that you want to grab. So the D's want to win. The I's want to be liked. S's, they like safety and security. And C's, they want to be right. But you look, C and a D are more task-oriented. D's and I's are more outgoing. S's and I's are more people-oriented. And C's and S's are reserved. Great example of a C. So definitely at the top of my favorite list, C3PO. He said we're going into the asteroid field, and he's quoting off, we have this percentage chance of surviving. That's what a C will do for you. So think about the people that you're working with. Think about the people that maybe you don't work with anymore. What was their personality type? Were you opposites? Does that explain why?